Good evening, everyone. Tom's back again. And tonight, I would like to put your attention on this decanter over here. It's from the Cooperstown, New York distillery. It is a baseball-themed decanter, and it really is beautiful. The bourbon inside is distilled by the Cooperstown distillery. It's a very, very nice bourbon. It's not the greatest, but it certainly is an acceptable bourbon as a drinking bourbon with friends and relatives. And certainly when you're talking about baseball, this is the way to go. I went up there to Cooperstown to pick this up. Also, the trip was to look at the plaque for Gil Hodges, who I've done a video on him. Many of you may have seen it. My childhood idol, first baseman, Brooklyn Dodgers. Anyway, I went up there to see that, and while I was up there, I had to stop in at the Cooperstown distillery to pick up their bourbon. I saw the decanter and had to have it. My friend Jason, who is sitting here with us tonight, asked me about it. He said, "Wow, that's a cool decanter." And so I said, "Well, I'll tell you the story of it and tell our friends on video about it also." So, does that answer your questions?
For the most part, yeah. I just trying to get the whole backstory behind it. It's not every day that you see a baseball-shaped decanter kind of stuck out on your shelf, so I figured I'd ask you about it.
I know, it's unique. And
it is very
yeah, and that's why I bought it. You know, it kind of fits the image. Cooperstown, baseball. Why not?
Bourbon. Absolutely.
Bourbon is the American drink, so like baseball is the American pastime. You know?
Absolutely.
Any other questions you may have?
There's always questions all over the place.
There always is, isn't there?
So, up in Cooperstown, what are some other attractions to do out there?
Well, naturally, the big thing to me is baseball. It's where the gods hang out, the gods of the game, the legends of the game, the heroes of the game. They're all there. It's kind of like a church. It's very solemn if you love the game of baseball, which
Okay.
I do. And I made a few trips there. I brought my kids there too, and it's a place where you just get into the spirit of yesteryear, the old-time players, and they also have new exhibits all the time about modern-day players in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. So it varies. It's a place where anyone who loves the game will find many interesting things to look at, to take pictures of, photos, just enjoy.
Okay.
You can spend the whole day up there.
Yeah.
So that's why I go up to the Baseball Hall of Fame
Okay.
in Cooperstown.
You were talking about exhibits and stuff like that.
Baseball exhibits.
Baseball exhibits. What's one or two that stand out to you that you would definitely go back and see, or
Good question.
even see for the first time?
Good question. You know, most people, and me included, until the last time I went up there, most people go up there to see their favorite ball player, plaque, and read the stories about him and why he is the greatest that ever played the game. But the last time I went up, which was about a year or so ago, took my kid and his girlfriend up there, and I walked out in the back. They have a patio in the back, kind of a garden type thing. It's a beautiful place. And they had a statue, two statues. And this is interesting because about sitting over there in the corner was the statue of a catcher, crouched down in the catcher's position, had a mask on, had a glove up, and it was a statue made out of bronze, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 90 feet going the other way was another statue of a pitcher. And this pitcher was in his windup, and he was just about ready to come through with his pitch. And I don't ever remember seeing that statue before on the other trips that I took up there. So I went up and I looked more closely, and sure enough, there's an inscription. And it said, Johnny Padres, 1955, seventh game, World Series, pitching to Roy Campanella, who was the catcher. Now, Campanella is in the Hall of Fame. Johnny isn't. That was his claim to fame. He beat the New York Yankees. But I did a video on this. And for our viewers who may want to look back in the archives, I did a video on Johnny Padres. But it excited me so much that they actually put a statue of the two of them, the battery mates, actually throwing to one another in that game. So that's my favorite exhibit.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very. So, what other types of things would you do if you weren't totally interested in baseball?
Well,
if you, are your kids interested in baseball?
Yes, they are.
As much as you.
The two of them are. One, yeah, they all are. They all are. Two played the game extensively. The other one did not, but he loves the game. But my wife, who loves baseball, don't get me wrong, but what else is there in life
Right.
when you go up there? So I said, well, there's other things. She said, like what? I said, well, how about James Fenimore Cooper? And she said, who's he? And I said, James Fenimore Cooper is the person who they named the town after, Cooperstown. Okay, what did he do? He wrote Leatherstocking Tales. He wrote Last of the Mohicans. This was one of the early Americana renowned writers of the New York Adirondack wilderness in the 16 and 1700s, when the early settlers were trying to build cabins and when the Iroquois Indian Nation was trying to stop them from building it. And they made a movie about it. I'm sure many people have seen Last of the Mohicans. He wrote it. He was a prolific writer, and they named the town after him. And his house is up there too. And my wife loves to go inside and visit it because it's an historical house, and it's got period furniture in it, and it's Americana. Cooperstown is a beautiful little town. If you ever get a chance, look it up online. It really is very quaint and very pretty, and
Okay.
it's the kind of place you want to grow up in.
Yeah. Very homey.
Good way
Very
to describe
homey.
it. Very, very homey.
All right.
Anything else
well-
you'd like to know?
Just, I could ask you a million questions all night long, but you mentioned your wife, that she also likes to go travel with you and all that, and not to get too much far off topic, but the whole baseball and women, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm a big exponent of women should play baseball, and I can't wait. I think it's going to happen someday. We have good debates about it, but I think it's going to happen, where there is going to be a female professional baseball player, not a softball player,
Mm-hmm.
a professional baseball player in the major leagues. I can't say when it's going to happen, but I have known some fantastic girls who can play softball. In fact, I married one.
Are you currently married to her
No.
now? No.
But it didn't work out. But my goodness, could she play softball? She was very good.
Okay.
The bottom line is they have an exhibit up in Cooperstown of The League of Their Own, which was a movie. It's
Mhm.
about during the war years, they had women playing professional baseball
Yes.
and different clubs. It was mostly around the Midwest, actually. And they have an exhibit up there in Cooperstown dedicated to them. It's a fine exhibit, and it's another thing that, you don't have to be a male or a female to enjoy it. You just go up and look at it. It's a lot of fun. Great historical information when you go up there about it.
Okay.
And if you have any interest in women playing sports, especially baseball, go up there and look at it. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Definitely something to
Yeah.
think about and look into.
You should.
All right.
Anything else?
We could go on all night, but
I have
I
one
think
more
that-
thing though you might be interested in.
sure.
Abner Doubleday. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not.
All right, he was a famous Civil War general. Born in Cooperstown, New York.
Okay.
Became a very famous Civil War general. That's what he's noted for, but also he's noted. Now this is legend, I can't say it's true, but he discovered the game of baseball. He made the game of baseball. Now, that's legend, that's myth. Who knows if it's historically accurate? I don't think anybody can say yes or no. It's part of the lore and the myth of the game. But up there, he was born, and they named a field after him, Doubleday Field. It's in Cooperstown. That's the field they have the Hall of Fame games on every year.
Okay.
So that's another interesting reason to go to Cooperstown. You know, was baseball invented there? I like to believe that, but other people might not. But he was a famous Civil War general, very famous at Gettysburg too, and he supposedly invented the game of baseball in Cooperstown. And I guess that's about it.
All right.
So are we done now?
I think that
You
should
feel
be
you've
good.
known everything you have to know about it?
I could go on for days, but
Okay. But we don't have time.
we don't have time.
But anyway, good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
And good talking to you, everybody. If you like what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment if you'd like. We'll see you soon with another topic. Have a good night. Bye.